Who you are today is not who you have to be tomorrow. Let that sink in for a moment. Most people walk through life clinging to an identity that was shaped years ago by circumstances, by other people's expectations, or by their own limiting beliefs. They wake up every day and play the same role, reciting the same script, and wonder why their life hasn't changed. The truth is, your identity is not a fixed destination. It's a choice. And if you want to create a life that is truly extraordinary, you must be willing to break the mold of who you think you are. The identity mold is powerful because it feels safe. It's the comfort zone you've built for yourself, where everything is predictable, even if it's not fulfilling. It's the part of you that says, I'm just not the kind of person who can do that, or this is just the way I've always been. But let me ask you this, who decided that? When did you agree to those limitations? And more importantly, why are you still carrying them into your future? Breaking the identity mold begins with awareness. You need to recognize that the version of yourself you've been holding on to was likely constructed out of necessity, not choice. Maybe you adapted to survive a tough situation. Maybe you became someone who fit in because standing out felt too risky. Or maybe you've been living under the weight of other people's labels, the quiet one, the responsible one, the one who never takes risks. These labels served you at one point, but now they're suffocating your potential. To break the mold, you must challenge the stories you've been telling yourself. Start by asking, what part of my identity no longer serves me? Maybe it's the belief that you're not good enough, smart enough, or capable enough. Maybe it's the habit of playing small so you don't make others uncomfortable. Whatever it is, identify it, name it, and then make a decision to let it go. But let's be honest, this isn't easy. The mold of your identity is reinforced by years, sometimes decades, of habits and thought patterns. It's the way your brain has been wired to respond to the world. Breaking it feels unnatural at first because your brain is trying to keep you in familiar territory. That's why most people don't even try. They're afraid of the discomfort that comes with growth. But here's the thing. Discomfort is the birthplace of transformation. Think of the process like a snake shedding its skin. The old skin becomes tight, restrictive, and painful to live in. The snake doesn't cling to it, hoping it will somehow get better. It sheds the old skin because it has no choice. It's growing, and the old skin simply can't contain what it's becoming. You are no different. You have to shed the parts of yourself that no longer fit the life you're building. And breaking the mold isn't just about letting go, it's about creating something new. This is your chance to redefine yourself on your terms. Who do you want to be? What do you stand for? What values will guide your decisions? Imagine the person you'd be if you didn't have the weight of your past holding you back. Visualize it in vivid detail. See how they walk, how they speak, how they show up in the world. That version of you already exists. It's waiting for you to step into it. You're not breaking the mold to become someone else. You're breaking it to become more of who you truly are. You're breaking free from the false narratives, the self-imposed limitations, and the outdated stories that have been keeping you stuck. And as you do, you'll realize that the only thing standing between you and the life you want is the person you've been pretending to be. So ask yourself, are you ready to break the mold? Are you ready to step into the unknown, face the discomfort, and create a new identity that aligns with the future you're destined to live? Because once you do, the possibilities are limitless. Obsession, it's a word that often carries a negative connotation, doesn't it? We've been taught to avoid being too obsessed with anything, to stay balanced, and to not let one thing consume us. But here's the truth. Greatness doesn't come from balance. It doesn't come from dabbling or from being half in, half out. It comes from obsession, from pouring your energy, focus, and soul into something so deeply that it becomes part of who you are. Let me be clear. Obsession isn't just about working harder. It's not about burnout or mindlessly grinding without a purpose. True obsession is purposeful, intentional, and deeply connected to your vision. It's about locking in on the future you want so tightly that distractions, doubts, and setbacks become irrelevant. Obsession isn't about losing control. It's about taking control of your focus and your destiny. The art of obsession begins with clarity. You cannot obsess over what you cannot see. You need to create a vision so vivid, so compelling, that it pulls you forward no matter what. Picture it, feel it, see yourself living it, the unrecognizable version of you that you want to become. What does that look like? What does it feel like to step in to that life, to live that reality? The clearer your vision, the easier it is to align every thought, every decision, and every action with it. And here's the thing about obsession, it demands your full attention. This is not a casual affair. You cannot be lukewarm about your dreams and expect to achieve them. Obsession requires you to eliminate distractions and focus relentlessly on what matters. Look around you. How much of your time, energy, and mental bandwidth is being stolen by things that don't move you closer to your goals? Social media, meaningless conversations, toxic relationships. These are the thieves of your obsession. If it doesn't serve your vision, it has to go. Obsession also means you have to fall in love with the process, not just the outcome. It's easy to fantasize about the end result, the success, the recognition, the lifestyle. But the real magic happens in the trenches, in the day-to-day grind that most people aren't willing to endure. Obsession means showing up even when it's hard, even when it's inconvenient, even when you don't feel like it. It's about doing the work not because you have to, but because you're so deeply connected to the vision that the work becomes part of who you are. Think about the people who achieve extraordinary success, the athletes, the entrepreneurs, the artists, the leaders. What sets them apart isn't talent alone. It's their obsession. It's the way they wake up every day with a fire in their belly, a drive that pushes them to keep going, to keep improving, to keep chasing the next level. They don't dabble. They don't make excuses. They are obsessed, and that obsession becomes their superpower. But here's the catch. Obsession is lonely. Not everyone will understand it. People will question why you're so focused, why you're so intense. They might call you crazy, tell you to slow down, or criticize you for being too ambitious. That's okay. Their opinions are not your reality. Obsession isn't about pleasing others. It's about staying true to your vision, no matter what anyone else thinks. Obsession also demands resilience. When you're obsessed, failure isn't a stop sign, it's a stepping stone. Every setback becomes fuel for your fire. Every rejection, every mistake, every obstacle is an opportunity to learn, to grow, to get better. Obsession doesn't quit. It doesn't give up. It adapts, adjusts, and keeps moving forward no matter how tough the journey gets. And let's not forget the role of passion and obsession. Passion is the spark that ignites the fire of obsession, but it's not enough on its own. Passion might get you started, but it's obsession that keeps you going. Passion is emotional. Obsession is practical. It's the day in, day out commitment to doing whatever it takes to turn your vision into reality. So what does it mean to master the art of obsession? It means making your vision your priority. It means cutting out the noise, focusing on what matters, and refusing to settle for anything less than the extraordinary. It means embracing the grind, falling in love with the process, and showing up every single day with the relentless determination to turn your dreams into reality. Obsession isn't for everyone. It's for the few who are willing to go all in, who are willing to sacrifice, who are willing to face the discomfort, the criticism, and the challenges that come with pursuing greatness. It's not easy. It's not comfortable. But if you're willing to master the art of obsession, the rewards are limitless. Discipline is a word most people shy away from because it feels restrictive, uncomfortable, and rigid. But here's the truth. Discipline isn't a punishment. It's a superpower. It's the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. In radical self-discipline, that's the highest form of freedom. It's about owning your time, your energy, and your life in a way that most people can't even imagine. Radical self-discipline begins with a decision to take full responsibility for your life. No more excuses, no more blaming circumstances, no more waiting for the perfect moment. It's about saying, I am in control, and I will do whatever it takes to become the person I want to be. This isn't just about making a choice. It's about committing to that choice every single day. Here's the thing about discipline. It's not glamorous. It doesn't get applause or recognition in the moment. No one sees the early mornings, the late nights, the sacrifices you make behind closed doors. Discipline is built in the shadows, in the quiet moments, when it's just you and your goals. It's not about motivation, because motivation fades. It's about consistency. The radical self-discipline means doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it, even when it's inconvenient, even when no one is watching. And let's be honest, discipline is uncomfortable. It's waking up early when your body wants to sleep. It's saying no to distractions when every part of you craves the easy way out. It's pushing through the resistance when your mind is screaming for you to stop. But here's the secret. Discomfort is where growth happens. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you're building a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. Radical self-discipline also requires clarity. You need to know exactly what you're working toward and why it matters. Without a clear vision, discipline becomes aimless, and aimlessness leads to burnout. So ask yourself, what's the big picture? What's the ultimate goal that makes all the discomfort and sacrifice worth it? When you have a powerful why, discipline becomes less of a chore and more of a privilege. It becomes the vehicle that carries you to your dreams. But discipline isn't just about big, dramatic actions. It's about the small, seemingly insignificant choices you make every single day. It's choosing to read a book instead of scrolling through social media. It's choosing to go to the gym when you'd rather stay in bed. It's choosing to save money instead of spending it impulsively. These small choices compound over time, creating a ripple effect that transforms your life. The small compound over time transforms your life. Radical self-discipline is about mastering these moments because it's in the small decisions that greatness is built. One of the biggest misconceptions about discipline is that it's about deprivation. People think that being disciplined means giving up everything they enjoy, living a life of strict rules and restrictions. But true discipline isn't about saying no to everything. It's about saying yes to the things that truly matter. It's about prioritizing long-term fulfillment over short-term gratification. It's about choosing the things that align with your values and your vision, even if they're harder in the moment. And let's talk about accountability, because discipline thrives on it. When you hold yourself accountable, you create a standard for your behavior. You set the bar high and refuse to lower it for excuses or circumstances. Accountability means being honest with yourself even when it's uncomfortable. It means owning your mistakes, learning from them, and getting back on track without hesitation. Radical self-discipline doesn't require perfection, but it does require persistence. Another critical aspect of discipline is controlling your environment. Your surroundings have a massive impact on your ability to stay disciplined. If you're constantly surrounded by distractions, temptations, or negativity, you're setting yourself up for failure. Radical self-discipline means curating an environment that supports your goals. It means creating systems, habits, and routines that make it easier to stay on track. It means surrounding yourself with people who challenge you, inspire you, and hold you to a higher standard. And let's not forget the importance of self-compassion and discipline. Too often, people equate discipline with self-criticism, beating themselves up for every slip-up or setback. But radical self-discipline isn't about perfection, it's about progress. It's about recognizing that mistakes are part of the journey and using them as opportunities to grow stronger. It's about treating yourself with kindness and respect, because the relationship you have with yourself is the foundation of your discipline. The beauty of radical self-discipline is that it compounds. The more disciplined you are, the easier it becomes. Every time you follow through on a commitment, you're building trust in yourself. You're proving to yourself that you're capable, reliable, and unstoppable. This self-trust becomes a powerful cycle, reinforcing your discipline and fueling your momentum. And here's the ultimate truth about discipline. It gives you freedom. Freedom from regret, freedom from mediocrity, freedom from the life you don't want to live. Radical self-discipline isn't about restricting yourself. It's about liberating yourself. It's about creating a life that's aligned with your purpose, your values, and your highest potential. In a world that never stops, where notifications constantly pull us in every direction, where the noise of other people's opinions is louder than ever, solitude feels like a lost art. But what if I told you that the power of solitude isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity for transformation? The moments you spend alone, truly alone, are where the seeds of greatness are planted. Solitude is not isolation. It's not about cutting yourself off from the world or retreating into a shell. It's about stepping away from the chaos, the noise, and the endless demands of life to reconnect with yourself. It's about creating a sacred space where you can think, reflect, and recharge. Solitude is where clarity is born, where creativity flourishes, and where the blueprint for your future is written. But here's the challenge. Most people are afraid of solitude. They're afraid to be alone with their thoughts because they've spent so much time running from them. They fill their days with distractions, scrolling through social media, binge watching TV, or keeping themselves perpetually busy, all to avoid the discomfort of facing themselves. But the truth is, you cannot grow, you cannot evolve, and you cannot become unrecognizable if you're unwilling to embrace the silence. Solitude forces you to confront the most important relationship in your life, the one you have with yourself. In those quiet moments, you come face to face with your fears, your doubts, and your insecurities. It's uncomfortable, yes, but it's also liberating, because when you stop running from yourself, you start discovering who you really are. You start uncovering the strength, the resilience, and the wisdom that have been buried beneath the noise. And solitude isn't just about reflection, it's about creation. Think about it, every great idea, every groundbreaking invention, every transformative movement began in solitude. It's in those moments of stillness that your mind has the freedom to wander, to dream, to explore. When you're constantly surrounded by noise, your thoughts are reactive, they're shaped by external stimuli. But in solitude, your thoughts become proactive, they become original, they become yours. Solitude also gives you the gift of focus. In a world filled with distractions, solitude is your sanctuary. It's where you can shut out the noise and concentrate fully on what matters most. It's where you can plan, strategize, and take deliberate action without the interruptions of the outside world. Focus is a superpower, and solitude is where you cultivate it. But let's be clear, solitude isn't always easy. It requires discipline. It requires you to set boundaries, to say no to the endless demands for your attention. It requires you to carve out time in your day, even when it feels impossible, to step away from the noise. And it requires you to be intentional with that time, to use it not as an escape, but as an opportunity for growth. One of the most transformative aspects of solitude is that it reconnects you with your inner voice. In the noise of daily life, that voice often gets drowned out by the opinions of others. But in solitude, that voice grows louder, it becomes clearer. It starts guiding you toward the path that's truly meant for you. And when you learn to trust that voice, you become unstoppable. Solitude also teaches you self-reliance. When you're alone, there's no one to turn to for answers, no one to lean on for support. And while that might feel uncomfortable at first, it's also empowering, because in solitude, you learn to rely on yourself. You learn to find the answers within. You realize that you don't need external validation or approval to move forward. Everything you need is already inside you. And let's not forget about the emotional power of solitude. In the stillness, you can process your emotions, heal your wounds, and release what no longer serves you. Solitude is a space for renewal, a space to let go of the baggage you've been carrying and make room for new possibilities. It's where you regain your strength, your clarity, and your sense of purpose. But perhaps the greatest gift of solitude is perspective. When you step back from the noise of the world, you gain a new vantage point. You start seeing your life with greater clarity. You start understanding what truly matters and what doesn't. You start making decisions from a place of alignment rather than reaction. Solitude allows you to zoom out, to see the bigger picture, and to navigate your life with intention and purpose. Solitude isn't just a tool for personal growth, it's a necessity for becoming unrecognizable. It's in those quiet moments away from the noise that you do the deep inner work required for transformation. It's where you strip away the layers of who you were and start building the foundation for who you want to become. So, if you want to rise above the noise, if you want to find your true path, if you want to create a life that's truly extraordinary, you must embrace the power of solitude, because it's in those moments of stillness that the real magic happens. Success, what does it truly mean? For so many people, the concept of success is wrapped up in society's expectations. The big house, the fancy car, the prestigious job title. It's the image plastered on billboards, glorified in movies, and chased relentlessly by millions. But let me ask you this, whose definition of success are you living by? Is it yours, or is it a story you inherited from the world around you? Redefining success isn't just an option, it's a necessity if you want to live a life that's authentic and fulfilling. Because here's the thing, success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. You can achieve everything the world tells you to strive for and still feel empty inside. And that's because true success isn't about what you accumulate, it's about who you become. To redefine success, you have to start by letting go of the outdated definitions that no longer serve you. Think about it, how many people chase wealth, fame, or power only to find themselves trapped in a cycle of stress, burnout, and dissatisfaction? That's not success. That's slavery to a false ideal. Real success is deeply personal. It's about aligning your life with your values, your passions, and your purpose. So what does success mean to you? Not to your parents, not to your friends, not to society, but to you? Take a moment to strip away the noise and ask yourself what truly matters. Is it freedom? Impact, creativity, connection? Success doesn't have to look the same for everyone, and that's the beauty of it. When you define success on your terms, you take back your power. You stop living for the expectations of others and start living for what lights you up. Redefining success also means shifting your focus from outcomes to processes. Too often, people equate success with results, a number in a bank account, a trophy on a shelf, a milestone achieved. But real success isn't just about what you achieve, it's about how you achieve it. It's about the person you become along the way. It's about the habits you build, the lessons you learn, and the impact you have on others. When you focus on the process, success becomes a journey, not a destination. And let's talk about the role of contribution in success. True success isn't just about what you gain, it's about what you give. Think about the people you admire most. Chances are they're not just successful in the traditional sense, they're impactful. They use their success to uplift others, to create change, to leave the world better than they found it. Contribution gives success meaning. It connects your achievements to something greater than yourself. But redefining success also means embracing failure. You cannot achieve greatness without stumbling along the way. Failure isn't the opposite of success, it's part of the process. Every setback, every mistake, every rejection is a stepping stone that brings you closer to your goals. When you redefine success, you stop fearing failure and start seeing it as an opportunity for growth. And let's not forget the importance of balance. In the hustle culture we live in, success is often equated with nonstop work, with grinding every hour of every day. But what's the point of success if it comes at the cost of your health, your relationships, or your happiness? Real success is holistic. It's about thriving in all areas of your life, not just one. It's about creating a life that's rich in experiences, connections, and joy, not just achievements. Another critical aspect of redefining success is aligning it with your purpose. Purpose is the driving force that gives your life meaning. It's what gets you out of bed in the morning, what keeps you going when things get tough. Without purpose, success is hollow. But when your goals are aligned with your purpose, every step you take feels meaningful. Every achievement, big or small, feels like a reflection of who you truly are. And let's address the myth that success is a solo endeavor. The self-made narrative is a lie. No one achieves greatness alone. Success is built on relationships, on mentors who guide you, on peers who challenge you, on teams who support you. When you redefine success, you realize that it's not just about individual achievement, it's about collective growth. It's about surrounding yourself with people who inspire you, who push you to be better, who celebrate your wins, and help you through your losses. Redefining success also means giving yourself permission to evolve. The definition of success you have today might not be the same one you have 5 years from now, and that's okay. Life is a journey, and your priorities will change as you grow. What matters is that you stay true to yourself, that you keep checking in with your values, and that you allow your definition of success to grow with you. Finally, redefining success requires courage. It takes courage to break away from societal norms, to reject the traditional markers of success, and to pursue a path that's uniquely your own. It's not always easy. People might question your choices, doubt your vision, or criticize your decisions. But remember, the success isn't about pleasing others, it's about living a life that's true to you. When you redefine success, you unlock a life of freedom, fulfillment, and impact. You stop chasing other people's dreams and start building a reality that's aligned with your soul. You stop living for the applause and start living for the joy, the growth, and the contribution that true success brings.